We started selling our album on the street, just trying, because we were so passionate about what we were doing, and we were trying to sell our first album, like we were literally like finding different ways of trying to get people to listen to our music. And like Mary even got dressed as a panda, I think, this one time, and we were just going around like Bank, I think it was, where full of business.
Run away from you?
No, it was the opposite. They were like more running away from us when we weren't, like when Mary wasn't being a panda. They were more like, you know, like. So they would just, we would try and sell our album, and what the feedback was, the feedback we were getting was, why would we buy something we've never heard? And I was like, fair point, you know, like. And then we saw this, this guy called Cam Cole, and he was busking with a drummer at the time, and it was just a duo. And I was like, how the fuck did they get permission for this stuff? Like, this is amazing, like, and it sounded amazing as well. And I was like, Mary, maybe we should try busking, you know, because people were saying like they haven't heard us, and we could put our album down there and we could say it that way and stuff. She was a bit hesitant at the time, you know, whether or not to do that, because she was like, oh, I just like basically quit my job and now I'm gonna, you know, go busking, blah blah blah. But we were like freezing our asses off trying to sell like 3 copies a day, I think that was our target, to actually make the bills and stuff. And then we tried busking just this one time. I didn't have a microphone speaker or anything. Like Mary had this huge drum kit. I had like one little like Vox DA5 guitar amplifier, and we tried doing it, and we had to do it in a tunnel, because obviously not having a microphone, we thought maybe the acoustics would be better for vocally. But it just turned out the drums just got really like a lot louder than anything.
I can't imagine, you know, like walking through the tube and then just being met by like.
Like, so that's pretty much what happened. Like, people were like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is so loud, and like, you know, and then we kind of, you know, attracted quite a large audience a few times.
It was crazy, because you're singing without a microphone.
I was like shouting pretty much, which is like what I do anyway with a microphone. But so we did that, and so that was pretty much like the reason why we chose busking over anything else, because we kind of had to. We were kind of thinking of a way that people could hear us and listen to us, and also potentially purchase our album and kind of spread our music to a larger audience.
I suppose with like busking, I think with anything, it's always like a psychological thing. Like when one person stops and listens, then someone else will stop and listen, and then another person will, and then someone will get their phone out, and then another person will get their phone out. So,
the amounts of times there's been like, it just takes one person or 2 people to stand there and watch you, and then before you know it, you've got like 40 people, 50 people watching you in one go, and it's like a you know, when people clap, you know, like one person claps, and then all of a sudden everyone else claps, everyone wants to join in. So
have you ever had any like old people dancing? I love
man,
I love
all the time.
So
me
much.
too. There was this old couple that were dancing that one time by Bond Street.
Everywhere,
and
all the time.
I think old people get it more than the younger generation for some reason.
I think it's maybe just because obviously the younger generation is the technology generation, so they're more likely to go listen to something on Spotify, whereas an old person is going to be like, oh, wasn't that good? And all that, so.
But just to let you know, we don't busk anymore.
You don't?
No, we stopped 6 months ago.
How comes?
Just because we stopped.
It's life.
It's life.
Yeah, we're trying to be like basically we're trying to invest more money into it as well, because it's really hard not having like the funding and not having the time to rehearse in the studio with like new material and things like that. It's like when we were busking, we were just like playing the same songs, and then we'd get into the studio when we could afford it, and then we would, you know, go and play those songs, and we're trying to basically not play the songs that we want to release, and just giving people an opportunity to hear it fresh, as opposed to like hearing one song one day and then another song, and then before you know it, they've already heard the whole album, and you know we're releasing it after they've heard everything. You know, so it's like
what's the point?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
So we
last
want to
year.
surprise
Wasn't it?
people a little bit more. So
Last year, right? Like
yeah.
when releases in Country Club, we played literally everyone.
Yeah, everyone knew the
songs.
lyrics. Like everyone knew like we were singing along
So
to it.
it wasn't
and stuff.
really a release. It was
Yeah.
sort of like
It's
an
like a
official
show.
date.
Yeah, it was just another show. But yeah, this time we want to sort of save up a bit more to just do more things. Maybe like potentially go abroad as well. Go to New York. You know, check out the scene there. Maybe try Manchester. You know, just.
I've always wanted to go to Manchester.
Yeah.
Have you been?
No, but I've heard so many good things about it. And as much as obviously like I've got loads of friends that are still busking that do that. They go, you know, they gather up their money, they go somewhere, you know, a different country, they bust there and things like that. But it's such a huge risk with like, you know, all the equipment that we have when we have to travel with it as well. If I was just like, if Mary was just playing drums, you know, it'd be a lot easier. If I was just playing guitar, maybe we'd go separate and, you know, go somewhere, not separate, but like, you know, it'd be a lot easier to like travel somewhere, you know. But yeah, with us, I think busking was kind of like a starting point.
Yeah.
Like it was like a way of building our confidence, getting better at playing our instruments, writing material, seeing where we stand in the world as well, like seeing what we can do. And then I realised it's been half an hour, I'm still vaping, like drinking my fucking first coffee that's gone cold, like. So I really don't know where I'm from, to be fair, no. I have no clue whether it's Croydon or, well, yeah, I was born in Croydon. So I guess like...
You've never lived in North.
No, I haven't.
So
lived.
we can easily say
So
that's
south.
where South London
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Because I used
Whatever
to
it might
live, you know, it was in between like, you know Brixton, and then you go over the bridge and you go down to like Clapham. I used to live like in between there.
Oh, okay.
So it was quite cool, but it's very, very different from North London. Like, it's a lot you can switch off, I think, in South London.
Yeah.
Like, there'll be a moment where you can just like go for a walk in the park and there's not going to be 40 other people there. And,
Yeah.
Because in Camden, I've lived in East London. It's just a lot. And I've lived in Borough as well. So that was quite cool. But again, that's very like switched on all the time because it's near London Bridge. So.
Yeah. I don't know, it's weird, isn't it? It's true, I never really... Like, you go to South East London, it's a different vibe. Like, I remember when we played a show in Camden that one time, it was so weird for me. It was like the energy is just completely different, like, to the energy that we had, like, let's say, in more central London.
I don't remember.
Do you remember, where was it? Enterprise, when we played Enterprise upstairs. We did. We
Yeah, that was 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years ago. Yeah.
That
was.
Because the energy was different.
Yeah.
Weird.
It was strange. It was weird. I don't know. I don't really focus on like people's individuality. Like I think people that have too much of a specific side of London's characteristics, and for me a little bit like are you yourself, or are you an actor, or what are you doing? Like, why are you putting on that accent? Like, what's wrong with you?
I'm glad we got that out of the way. So what do you think about the music scene in London? Do you think it's better or worse here than other places? I know, like you said, Manchester. I just want to go to Manchester so much because I think the London music scene's not as good as it could be at the moment. It's very like even like you were saying, like Blues Kitchen, like, you know, there's like the This Feeling tour. Like, I don't know if I like it or not. I can't tell because they hand-pick certain bands and it's very similar sounding and they take them
Around.
Yeah, but then it is really good because it's like a platform for rock music to finally stand on its stage and do its thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what you think about London or...
I think yeah, there are a lot of those sorts of platforms, like where you know, there's this promotion company, that promotion company, and you know, this person's trying to do this for this kind of music and this and that. I think when you play a show, like, and you're amongst like other bands and things like that, I think musicians just need to make friends. I think in that sense, and just like go on their own journey and just try and find ways of supporting music that they like, as opposed to trying to make it like a business, trying to make it sort of like bringing people together, like to set this platform to show to who though. You know, because I mean, like the people that are coming to watch that, okay, they might come to see it because they kind of know what they're gonna get, but at the same time, that's not really, you're not really pushing yourself as an artist, because you're
kind of boxed into
a certain style. And like, you know, I always, whenever I'm about to like write something new with Mary, like I always think of David Bowie, because the guy just like, he just sounds like himself, and he's just done so many different types of music, and he's never really, I don't think he ever thought to himself like, okay, I'm gonna write this style of music. I think he just wanted to write a story and try and bring in different instruments and things to kind of make that atmosphere happen, and so you can tell it, you know, so you can sort of voice. So,
and that's Brixton as well.
Yeah. We live really close to where his memorial is.
I've never been to it.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
There's flowers.
Makes me happy when I see that, because he is an amazing, like, amazing songwriter.
Yeah. No, like you were saying, like, for example, this is just a really like flimsy example, but like the Beatles, for example, that sounds like stuff that's gone before.
Yeah.
But he was just like his own like pocket.
Yeah.
And I think all his characters.
Yeah.
As well.
That's,
I can't think of many other people that have done that.
No, me neither. I think we're just too afraid. I think as like the new generation, we just want something done and that's it, you know, or we want something to be a certain style and then that's it, and we're too proud to kind of like show ourselves, you know, like we're too scared of what people might think, which is like not the point of art anyway. It's like you should be afraid, but you show it anyway, because you know, it might actually show someone that someone else feels that way, you know, like, and but I don't know, there's been loads of times where you know, where even when we were busking, it's like times where I was just like, shit, why the fuck am I even doing this, you know? I'm like, we're both like putting so much energy, and we're being ourselves, and we're showing people that we're not afraid of showing how we feel, and you know, you just get a few people that are just like laughing at you with their phones and stuff like that, and it kind of like for me, I'm very sensitive, so when I see stuff like that, it really puts me down. So it's kind of hard for, I think, musicians nowadays to really show themselves and show their own. You know, I would still suggest that if you're a band and you really want to, you know, make your mark in the world, I think busking teaches you a lot about not just your music, but people. Like what works as well with like you know, because you're not, let's say it's, people were saying that our music's punk rock. I don't particularly want to set a label to it, but apparently it is.
I can see it.
So just knowing that, because we didn't know, we were like, I don't know what our music is. It's really weird, because I don't know what it's like for you, but like I was constantly just trying to find my own voice. Like I was like trying different things. I was like, is that me? Like, is that my voice, or is it someone else's voice? Because you listen to so much music, and you're kind of like, in your head, you feel brainwashed. Like you feel like you're sounding like someone else. So to be able to sing how you speak is like so hard, and that's basically what I think every artist is trying to do, is trying to sound like themselves. I mean, if obviously a lot of people try and mimic other artists and things like that,
if something sounds good, then obviously you're going to be like,
but I didn't really want it to sound good. I wanted it to sound like me. I didn't want it to sound like, even if it sounded shit,
Yeah.
I just wanted it to sound like how I sound, as opposed to like trying to make a sound like something else, which isn't me, because I feel like I'm not being honest with myself. Like I feel like that couldn't, like that's short term as well. Like what happens when one day you've forgotten what you sound like, you know, like, and you start sounding like yourself, then what? So I would rather like sound like me, so I could never go wrong. You know, it might sound like an older version of me as I get older. My voice is a bit, crackly. It's like I don't see that as an honest representation of each artist. I see that as sort of like you're trying to reproduce something that's been produced already, and it's almost like you're covering yourself. Yeah, but there's like a different way of singing for each, like kind of like it sets the mood, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So if you're singing a love song to someone really special, like in your life, like you're not gonna shout, like you're gonna kind of have a softer.
They might be so full of passion.
You fucking bitch.
I've never heard a song like that. So maybe we should produce. That should
So I
be your
think we
next
have
one.
one track extra. One more song.
Yeah, you should just take samples of this interview and then like switch them together. Oh, fucking love you. You just tapped on the table, sample that as well.
No, after this interview, I'm just gonna spend the whole journey on the tube like this, just like thinking of everything we spoke. And I'm gonna miss my stop like 15 times, just like.
The tube terminates in Vixen, you can't miss it.
Like, Tommy's been on the tube for a week since the interview. So, it's good, but I just feel like sometimes people just give up on music. Like artists, like they've done.
To it, so I don't know. I can't comment on it.
It's just not like, you know, when people just write songs for the sake of writing songs, like why do we do that? I mean, we don't have to do it. You know, you can take a day off work, you know, you can take a day off writing, you know, and just go be yourself, and maybe that will show something more honest. And
like I think it's like, for example, with, it sounds stupid, with like films, you know, when a sequel takes like 10 years to come out. I'd rather it took 10 years to come out than like next year, just because they were trying to like push something out. It's the same with music.
Have you heard At the Drive-In's new album? Do you like At the Drive-In? No.
I mean, I think I know who they are, and I think it's a no.
Okay.
But I haven't listened to them properly, but I'm like open to all different.
Yeah, well, I think their new album's amazing, and they took 10 years to bring anything else out. I mean, the lead singer was in like a band called the Mars Volta for a while and stuff like that. But when I listened to like At the Drive-In's new album, I was like, yeah, man, good. I'm glad you took 10 years, because your album's fucking sick. Like, you know, like, so, yeah. Second question done.
Yeah.
Alright, Mary, it's all yours now. I'm talking too much, man.
So this is kind of, these are all kind of going to play into each other, just because it's all. So obviously you had jobs before you went to do full-time music. Did you find it very like sacrificial? Like, were you like, this is going to be the best thing ever, or did you feel like apprehensive to finally just be like, let's do music? Because if it was me, I'd probably feel quite scared. But I don't know whether it's just because the passion that you guys have for it just seemed natural to like, fuck it.
You talk, because if I talk, I'm gonna talk for like half an hour about this. So.
Yeah, it was scary. It was really scary to give up on stability, to just start doing something we've never done before. Something that at the time we didn't know how it was going to work out, if it was legal at all. We didn't know any rules. We didn't know anything. We didn't know how to where to go. The setup would need to be. We didn't know the regulations, the council, buskers. We didn't know that it was possible at all. So it was something completely new. And obviously we had the bills to pay and eat and travel and the whole thing was a drastic change. Both me and Tommy, but at the same time, it was fun.
Yeah.
And then slowly but surely we got to a point where we were really comfortable, and we figured out how it worked. We made friends with the council, with other buskers, we made friends, we gained a lot of following, and after 3.5 or 4 years of us doing it, we achieved a lot. And everything that we, like you guys, Underground, WS Studios, our second sponsor, we've got some Peaky Blinders, Gary Wallace produced our third album, Anthony June, who got some Peaky, like everything that we have at the moment came from busking. And obviously us as musicians, we progressed a lot. So it's thanks to that, and thanks to Tommy's determination that we are here.
Yeah.
And because of busking, he pushed that thing. I did not want to do it.
What do you
I was
think
too
you would have
scared.
done if you didn't do busking?
Probably killed myself. Probably.
No.
I was in a really dark state of mind, like back then, like where like I was just like hating my job so much, and Mary had not been in retail in London for that long, but I'd been doing it for a very long time, and it just got to the point where I was like, I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like I've got a degree, like 6 years of a degree in acting under my belt, and I can't even do that because I don't really know anyone like in the acting industry to really sort of do something, and I couldn't find a way of actually performing. And I was just really, really miserable, and I didn't want Mary to feel miserable, like, and I kind of thought, well, you know, maybe we should just take a chance, because I'm just, you know, if I don't take a chance in my life, and you know, Mary doesn't take a chance in her life, we won't know what we've missed out on. So.
Did you do the music before you met each? Like, I'm gathering you were musicians before at some point.
Yeah.
Did it only really come about after you'd met, or did you like?
We met while I was trying to, like, I'd gone travelling and stuff, and I'd kind of been practicing how to play guitar, because after my first band split up, I was like gagging to get back on stage, and I just didn't know how to play.
Yeah.
Didn't know how to scream. I mean, fucking sing. Sorry. So I was just like.
The real struggles, not being able to scream.
Yeah, there aren't that many spiders around where I live, so it's a bit difficult to practice. But yeah, so I was just like, come back to London and follow my dream and playing. But obviously, I knew I'd have to get back into retail and do something that I didn't want to do. So I formed this band of like 8 people.
It's like Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat or something.
Yeah, it was
with
like
all his brothers.
Arcade Fire meets like something ridiculous. But yeah, and like I met Mary, and we didn't have a drummer, and I tried to get Mary on board, and she was really shy at the time. She was from Belarus, so she was like being in London was like really new for her. Yeah. And but such a determined individual, and she had this like, she was like an angel in disguise, like, you know, I was like this is what I need in my life.
You're blushing.
So what was the question?
I was talking about music. Did you do it before or after? But you kind of, yeah. I feel like tangents, but I'm exactly the
yeah,
same
so
kind
my
of person.
favourite colour is blue,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Okay,
that's all it is.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about, so obviously your music's quite angry, I'm gonna say. It has a general kind of
Is it
hatred.
Is it angry?
Not anymore.
No,
Well,
yeah.
you haven't heard the songs from the new one. I mean, no one.
Yeah,
has
yeah.
heard. We're recording.
Not
so
even you.
Yeah, oh my god, 24/7. But yeah, they won't be as angry.
Okay. But I was gonna ask you, do you have like just a general sort of, not hatred because that's too strong, but a general distaste towards authority, or is there some like certain situations that have just like riled?
I just
In a
like
way.
never really had anyone to tell me what to do with my life.
Yeah.
So having someone tell me what to do with my life it is something that I really have to learn to take sometimes. But it's also, it's like I keep hearing people saying stuff and not actually say it out loud because they're too afraid of saying something.
Yeah.
And I'm just like constantly surrounded by these people all the time that just won't say what they think, you know, because they're too afraid of saying it because they might